Okay, so here we are in Hyrule Castle, and we have our second encounter with Gabora. And he's going to tell us that we have to walk into the castle, get by all the guards, and that time passes normally here, so we will have a night-day cycle. Because if you're in a dungeon or in a town, the day cycles usually stay at the exact same time as whenever you walked in there. So we're just going to make our way towards the castle by avoiding guards at all costs, which aren't very bright, because you'll see some guards right there. I'm just going to walk up this little hill right behind this guard, and none of them notice me. Walk across this field. And there's a guard over to my right. He's not going to notice me at all either. Also, in the old game, this didn't have vines on it. It just looked like the rock wall. And to people who haven't played the game before, it's probably a little bit confusing. Now we're going to jump in the water so that the guards don't find us, and we'll get a couple of rupees flowing in the river. Which I never quite understood, but hell, if you're going to give me money, I'll take it. And over here, you'll see, we found Malon's dad. His name is Talon. And he is sleeping. Welcome, our ranch is so fun. Come on and look around. Obviously having a dream about his ranch. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to leave. And the fastest way in doing that is to get caught by these guards. Hey you, stop. Kid over there. Words. Can't talk. And they throw us out. And you'll see that over here, Malon is now inside of the castle. And she asks if I'm going to the castle. Even though we already went over there, she gives us this thing called the weird egg, which we are going to put on the X button, because we don't need Deku Nuts right now, as you can see. I appear right there. And now we'll make our way back over to Talon, which we might as well take our time because we have to wait for morning for our egg to hatch. If I would have read the on-screen prompt that came up when we got the weird egg, it would have said that she's been incubating it very carefully and it should hatch on the next morning. So basically we're just making our way back to where we already were, finding Talon asleep. And we get some more money while we're swimming in this little moat, or river, maybe. More of a moat, I guess, seeing as it's around a castle. And while Talon is sleeping here, we have a lot of time to waste before day comes. So we're going to start this little puzzle. Basically, we're going to have to push these boxes through that little gap in which Talon is sleeping, which is why we have to go get the weird egg from Malon in the first place. I don't know if I'm over to the right. I am. It pushed me. Okay. That's as much progress as we can make right now, so we're just waiting for it to be day. And you'll see a little on-screen prompt when our egg hatches. And I'm just going to push the button while the on-screen prompt is there, the X button, and we're going to wake up Talon. See, like a cuckoo hatched. What in tarnation? Can a person get a little shut-eye around here? Let's go and talk to him again. Hello, and who might you be? Yep, I'm Talon, the owner of Lolon Ranch. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest and I guess I fell asleep. What? Malon was looking for me? I'm going to catch it from her now. I messed up bad leaving Malon behind to wait for me. She's really going to let me have it. And he runs off all weird like. And now we just finish up this puzzle. And as in every Zelda game that ever was, and might as well ever will be, when we finish this puzzle, we'll get a nice little tune, jingle, that you might be familiar with. I just had to push this box on top of the other one. And there it was. Now we jump into this little hole and crawl through the water. And this is where we're in the courtyard, and we have to get through here without alerting the guards, which is quite easy if you played the game before. But pretty much you're just going to want to walk behind them, because if you're not in their direct line of sight, then apparently they can't see you or hear you, even though you're right behind them the whole time. So, ooh, I almost got caught there. I'm being a little bit too hasty. The money that's on the floor right there isn't always just ones. Usually there'll be like a 5, maybe even a 20 if you're lucky. Now I'm just going to walk past him. And I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to try and walk right across here, which was good. Okay, now we have to wait for this guard. Oh no. You'll see the guard in the back there. I'm pretty sure now we're going to have to wait. Yeah, we're going to have to wait for the second guard. I'm going to risk it. It's probably not a smart idea, but I'm going to do it anyways. Oh, okay. That's good. And now we walk into the castle courtyard again, but this is ta-da! Princess Zelda. What? Who? Who are you? How did you get past the guards? Well, they weren't very bright, were they? Oh, what's that? Is that a fairy? Then are you from the forest? Then you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? That green and shining stone? Do you have it? And even if you don't have it, you can say yes. And she'll say, just as I thought. I had a dream, and in the dream, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly a ray of light shot up out of the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. That light turned into a figure holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I knew this was a prophecy that someone would come from the forest. Yes, I thought you might be the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got carried away with my story and I didn't even properly introduce myself. I'm Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? And even though you don't reply, she says Link. Strange. It sounds somehow familiar. Okay then, Link. I'm going to tell you the secret of the sacred realm that has been passed down by the royal family of Hyrule. Please keep this a secret from everyone, and even if you say no, it'll just loop the dialogue again. So in this game, you pretty much just want to say yes for everything. The legend goes like this. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of one who holds the Triforce in his hands. If someone with a righteous heart makes a wish, it will lead Hyrule into a golden... Basically, it's saying... I couldn't read fast enough. If someone who is good-hearted gets it, then Hyrule will be in an age of prosperity, and if someone bad gets it, then a curse will be fall across the land, and all this stuff. So, the goddesses hid the Triforce within the sacred realm, which is somewhere in Hyrule. That's right, the Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the sacred realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. And in order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. So fancy that, we already have one of them. Another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time, which we don't have. We have the fairy Ocarina. But I'm sure we might get that later. Did you understand well the story I just told you? Of course you want to say yes. That's great. I forgot to tell you. I was spying through this window just now. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds. I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? And of course say yes, because it'll just loop the dialogue, as always. And through the window you'll see Ganondorf. Can you see the man with the evil eyes? That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudo. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I'm sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that covered Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man. What happened? Did he see you? Don't worry. He doesn't have any idea what we're planning. Yet. Yes. I told my father about my dream. However, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense that man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after must be nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it. And he wants to conquer Hyrule. No, the entire world. Link, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. Please. You can say, okay, or I don't believe you. But if you say I don't believe you, again it'll loop. Thank you. I'm afraid. I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such a terrifying power. But it's fortunate that you have come. We must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other two spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does, and then defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. You received Zelda's letter. Wow. This letter has Princess Zelda's autograph. And then again, it just tells you how we can equip it. Okay, and here we're gonna... Oh, we already have it equipped. Since it's a quest item as a kid, it overwrites the previous quest item as a kid, which was the pocket egg or the Kuko. If you look inside this window here, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a little Super Mario Brothers reference in there. So we're going to walk over here and talk to Impa, which you don't know her name yet. She's about to tell you, though. And she's going to teach us a song. I am Impa of the Sheikah. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You are heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess's dream was to teach a melody to the one from the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. There is a mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. And you can see the notes there. X, A, Y, X, A, Y. Which are the buttons you have to press to play the ocarina down here? X, A, Y. You actually don't have to play it in time or anything. I can just push the buttons in any fancy order that I want to. Well, not in any order. In any timing. Just as long as I push the notes in order as they come. You've learned Zelda's lullaby. If the castle soldiers find you, there will be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. You brave lad, you must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers there before you go up to Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection to the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you. And that's where she uses the Deku Nut to get away. Okay. Again, I'm going to cut it here. And when I come back, we'll be venturing up to Death Mountain.